Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. Let's talk about Mama June from Not to Hot Family Crisis, Season 4, Episode 4. This one was a real train wreck. There was so much going and craziness, just total craziness. So, um, if you remember last time when it ended, we had Big Mike and Dodo staked out at this little motel, and a Suburban came in that looked like June's, okay? And you see Dodo getting out of the car and calling June's name, walking towards it. Because if you remember, when they went to Alabama, she said she was not leaving until they found June and she was going to bring her home. Okay. So they're at the motel and this Suburban pulls in. And it looks just like theirs. Georgia plates. I mean, that's pretty much a dead giveaway. And so Dodo hops out. She's heading for this Suburban. Big Mike doesn't get out of the car. And he's supposed to be her backup. She's walking by herself, calling for June. And you see a shape. You know, you can't really see anything. I guess, Dodo figures it's a man shape. So she calls Gino. And whoever it is says, I'm not Gino, ma'am. Okay. So she turns around and walks away. Okay. Now, if it were me and I were hunting for someone, if it was their vehicle and somebody else was there, I'd be saying, who the hell are you? And where is June? So the only thing I can figure is maybe when she got closer to it, she realized it wasn't theirs, I'm hoping. I don't know, because it doesn't make a bit of sense. Not a bit. So she walks back to their vehicle, and they're like, well, what do you want to do now? The camera crew is confused. She says, well, I guess we'll go back to Georgia. Okay. Totally give up after this, 3-episode build-up of finding her. You're just going to throw your hands up and say, okay, we'll go back to Georgia. No biggie. We all came out here, all the way to Alabama, drove all the way out here, spent all that money in gas and motels and food, and we came close to finding her, but we didn't, so we're just going to go home now. Okay. Whatever. So then we find Gina, Pumpkin and Sugar Bear, and Jennifer, of course, and Alana, and Ella at this little restaurant having dinner, and there's a comedy club there. Well, of course, Jennifer and Pumpkin are still making digs at each other, and Gina is just so ready for them all to go home. She's so tired of it. But, they're trying to have dinner, and Alana says, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm going to get out of here. But rather than do that, she goes to the comedy club, and she listens to this lady comedian who's really funny, and the next one up starts really disrespecting her family, really hurtful. It's not even funny jokes, it's just hurtful jokes. And they announced that Honey Boo Boo was there, so, they knew it. And how you could come up with something that fast without knowing ahead of time that she was there, kind of iffy, but at any rate, it did hurt her feelings, so she's like, I can't get away from the drama, so she heads back out. And she runs into this lady, and, the lady's like, don't let him bother you, he's just looking for his little bit of fame, don't let it get to you. And so they talk a little bit, and, she says, well, have you ever done comedy? I would be your coach. So Alana's very happy. She comes back down to the table and tells them, hey, I went to this comedy club. Of course, Jennifer has a fit. That's a nightclub. You shouldn't be in there. And, nobody's even paying attention to her at this point. They're so tired of her carrying on all the time. But, so Alana tells them, that she met this lady. She volunteered to be her comedy coach, and she wants to do stand-up comedy. She thinks it'd be fun. So Jennifer, of course, well, is that appropriate? You know, and Pumpkin says, why not? It's comedy. Gina says, yeah, that's fine. She can do comedy. So Jennifer's like, well, I will go talk to her. And Gina says, no, I am the manager. I will talk to her. And she tells Alana, have her, you know, send me her information and I will reach out and we'll get this set up. Okay? So, Pumpkin calls Josh and asks him to come out, which he says he will. And mainly because she has a photo shoot with Ella that she kind of forgot about. They had talked about not doing this. So she talks to Gina, you know, because she doesn't want to go against Josh's wishes, and she doesn't want Ella to turn into Honey Boo Boo too. So they are talking about that, and Pumpkin's undecided. Jennifer, of course, is eavesdropping, pops back through, and, well, don't worry, if she doesn't want to do it, my granddaughter would do it. Okay. So then Pumpkin decides Ella's doing it. And Jennifer then says, well, unlike June and Pumpkin, I know how to raise kids for show business. Excuse me? You have 3. Where are they? Obviously, one of them has, you know, the granddaughter you want to send out to model. Then you have the son that walked you down the aisle, who I think is a cellar dweller, you know, one of those gaming computer people, you know, that live in the basement and never come home, never leave, you know, they stay there till they're 40 or whatever. And there's, I think, another one somewhere. What are they doing in show business? I haven't seen them. Well, Gina is at work, and her friend Ryan from The Blast gets a hold of her and comes to see her. Now, you know, they've been friends for a while, and he has his phone, and he shows Gina some information on Gino, who apparently is sexting a lot of other women, sending them naughty pics, and probably getting some naughty pics back, too. And, you know, he had been accused before, but no real proof. Well, this lady that got a hold of him now, she has, like, emails, pictures, screenshots, all kinds of things, and Gina sees some things in the photographs that makes her believe that it actually is Gino, some possession of June's or something. So she asked him, please don't run the story for a couple of days, because she doesn't want to upset the kids, you know? I mean, they've been through a lot. She wants to break it to them gently as you can. And he says, well, I don't know if I can, because this is a really big story. And she says, well, try, please. And because Alana has this comedy show coming. Well, Josh flies out. He's taking her to the comedy class because Alana has told him about her coach, Kara, and her personalities, split personalities. Anyway, he's not happy with that, but the photo shoot thing, but, you know, he realizes why Pumpkin did it, and he says, okay, if it's only one, we'll do it. Okay. So Alana meets Kara. Josh goes somewhere else in the restaurant, and they're eating sweets and talking, and Alana confides in her, you know, that it's been really rough, and she was going to do comedy before, but then her mom met Gino, and, you know, everything just kind of fell apart. And Kara was very understanding and said, you know, my mom was not there for me, and she finally died from drugs. So then they had kind of a rapport, and you know, it doesn't make her feel any better. It's still hurtful, but at least she kind of has someone on her side. So Gina finds more rumors about Gino. There's a social media group of women that he's been texting and sexting, and they've formed their own group, so there must be quite a few. And now he's offering some of them money to come and stay with him. No, he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have his own place. So he's using June's money, and he's going to put them in the room with them. I can't believe June would even go for that. I really don't. I mean, she ought to just throw him out. But, yeah, okay. So, um, Ella does her shoot, and she does really well. And she's really cute. And then Alana meets Kara and her friend Ethan, who is a comedian also, who started at the age of 14, and he's now 17, so he's the same age as her when he started. And she finds out that her spot is 7 minutes long, and it's usually 3 jokes a minute, so she needs to write 21 jokes in just a few days. So, they go home, and Alana's up working on her jokes, and Gina calls Pumpkin in and says, I'm trying to hold this back, but this is what's going on, and she's hoping that no one will find out immediately and, give Alana a hard time when she's trying to perform. So, we know Dodo and Big Mike supposedly went back to Georgia. And Dodo says, I'm going to do some calling around. And so she calls around and she finds this attorney, Emmett Hampton, who knows about Alabama law. Well, there's a good reason that he does, because his office is in Montgomery, Alabama. So what did you do, Dodo? Are you in Georgia, or are you in Alabama, or did you drive back to Alabama to talk to him? Confusing. Anyway, he explains the charges. She has a Class A misdemeanor and a Class D felony. So she's looking at a year max on one and 5 years max on the other. And Dodo says, well, would she, be able to say, well, hey, I'm Mama June, I'm a celebrity, can I get out of it? And he said, probably not, because they want to set an example, for everybody, that celebrities can't just come in and do what they want. So, the night of Alana's show, she meets the other comedians, and they are quite a funny group. I wouldn't mind going to see them myself. And when she performs, she totally roasts her entire family, and, making the typical Southern jokes, like, I'm 13 from Georgia, so everybody wants to know where my husband is, things like that. Just typical redneck humor, and she's really funny, and she pulls it off great, and actually, a lot of people are standing and clapping. And while she's performing, sadly, a video comes out on TMZ of Gino crashing the Suburban into June's house, her beautiful home that she no longer has. And there's June and him. He's laying down in the driveway, and she's got him by the arm, trying to drag him to the house, I guess. And, so it's a happy night and a sad night. And to make it even worse, as the show ends, they have a memoriam for Liam Brunley, who was the big biker comedian that went on right before Honey Boo Boo. Yeah, sadly, he passed away back in November of 2019. And so they had kind of a little remembrance for him. And, he was not very old. He was in his 50s. A very interesting person. He was a biker, a comedian, a WWF wrestler, had a Master of Science in Clinical Counseling and Applied Psychology, a Master's in Poli-Sci and Government, and he was an actor in Vice Squad, Windward Spirits, and The Surge. So, a very versatile, diverse sort of person, and it's very sad that, we lost him. But that, anyway, is where the show has left off, with the film of June and Gino. And so next week ought to really be a trip. We'll see how things go. Meanwhile, while you wait, please check out the other shows that I review. We will do another 600-Pound Life, more Tiger King, and don't forget the 90 Day Fiancé Quarantine Edition, which will be coming out Monday, the 20th. So we will definitely be checking those out. And, you know, then meanwhile, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and, you know, don't forget, you can spill the tea, but don't drop the coffee. Anyway, good night, guys. Love y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.